In this video, I want to discuss the difference between storage or hard drive space and memory, also known as RAM. Hard drive space is permanent storage. OS X lives there, your operating system. All the applications that you've installed live there. Any files you've saved live on your hard drive. And that is the Macintosh hard drive. And it's permanent storage, and memory is temporary storage. Memory is very fast, but it only holds things there temporarily. So for example, if I open up an application, let's say Microsoft Word, what happens when I open it up is it takes all the files from the hard drive that it needs to run Microsoft Word and loads those into memory. And any files that I create are also in memory. When I save the file, it gets written back to the hard drive. When the computer shut down, everything in memory gets cleared. That's why I said it's temporary storage. So let's say I open up a new file. I'm not working on it. I haven't saved it yet. That file is only in my memory. If the computer shuts down unexpectedly, I very well could lose it. There's an auto recovery feature that periodically saves versions of the file to the hard drive. But if one of those hasn't been made yet, anything I typed will be lost because it was only in memory. When I save it, that's when it gets written back to the hard drive. So I've showed you your hard drive. Let's take a look at the other two things. The memory, and I want to show you about CPU as well. Let's go to Applications and go to Utilities, and then go to Activity Monitor. So let's go to memory first. You'll notice our laptops have 8 gigabytes of memory, and it shows how much we've used. So you could subtract that so you'll know how much you have free. If it's showing that you're either 8 gigabytes or really close to it, first thing you should do is probably restart the computer. But you may have some sort of a problem. Sometimes a virus can cause that, or just a bug in an application. And here you can see what applications are using the most memory. Make sure it's sorted with the downward arrow. I can either sort it ascending or descending. In Camtasia, that's the application I'm using to record this video right now. It's using up 325 megabytes. Not a whole heck of a lot compared to 8 gigabytes. And then the next one is 77 from my Finder, which also isn't very much. Another thing you can check here is the CPU usage. And again, I'm sorting it descending. So I have the thing that's using the most CPU up at the top. The CPU, just think of the CPU as processing your commands. When you have some sort of a request, or an application has some sort of a request, the CPU handles it. But you can actually sometimes see our CPUs have multiple cores. So if you look at this, you might see an application using greater than 100%. But if an application is using more than 100%, there could be something wrong. An application could be stuck, you could have a virus. So those are 3 things that you can check. You can look at your CPU, your memory usage, and I also think that you should right-click on this Macintosh hard drive and say Get Info every so often, and just make sure that you have enough hard drive space.